So last year, Carl and his wife came up for a visit, and he brought me a round of Cork Oak. It's been sitting in the shop, and I've just kind of been waiting for a project for it, but it is super cool. It is, the bark on this just peeled right off in one piece. I don't normally turn oak, not a big fan of it, but the color in this is just amazing. I don't know if all the Cork Oak is this color, but it is just beautiful. You'll see later in the video what it looks like, but it is just awesome. So I put a link down below in the description to a little like kind of documentary thing. It's only about 13-14 minutes long, but it explains how they harvest cork. The majority of cork comes out of Portugal. And it's basically one factory. They make wine stoppers, flooring, shoes, anything you can think of. It's really cool just see how it's all done, how it's processed. They peel the bark off every 9 years and harvest it. And to keep the trees alive, there's a whole specialized, machines that they use. These people who are doing this have been doing it for years, and they're very talented in how they do it. But it's amazing. The company has been in business, I think, for 150 or 154 years or something like that. But it's just kind of really neat history on the cork industry and how it all works. But it's super cool. So I'm just trued this piece up. We'll get a tenon down on each end of it and then get it parted in half, and we're going to do a lidded box. So it turns really nice too. I've turned a few pieces of oak with some nice color in it, but yeah, normally I kind of stay away from it. I'm normally a maple guy. Love maple pearl, but this stuff is absolutely gorgeous. Get the oil on it and you'll see. So it's coming in with a parting tool. We'll get the lid and the base there. So the reason I came in on the ends a little bit is because it was cracked a little bit. So I'm getting rid of those cracks on the top and bottom before I start making the tenon. So, and towards the end of the video too, we have a little mishap, so you'll get to see that. So once we get these apart, we can go ahead and put the chuck on and get that, start turning it. We're going to start with the base. And there's a little nub there I didn't cut quite deep enough, so we'll just grab a little saw and knock that off. Help support the companies that support our community. So we'll get this mounted in the chuck, and then we can just start shaping the outside of it and get a tenon on it. And it actually turns really well too. It's a nice wood to turn too. So I'm going to do a little pot style lidded box. I'll get the tenon set here. And then we can start working on the inside after we get it shaped just a little bit. Yeah, I encourage you to click on that little documentary there in the description, because it is, the amount of cork that they process is insane. It's just, yeah, I think at one point they were doing, I can't like 22 million corks a day. It's just nuts. And they recycle everything. It basically powers their factory, and they ship these corks worldwide. So we'll get it cleaned out with the #1 hauler here. And we'll get it all sanded up. This piece I have here, there are a couple little limbs coming into it too, so it makes a really nice feature on one side of it. Just going to bring down the bottom a little bit more now that we have it hollowed out before we start sanding. So I turned the lathe speed down, ran through all the grits up to 600. So we'll get the oil on there. You can just see just beautiful color, dark color. It's very nice. Yeah, it has a lot of character in it too. All right, we'll get this parted off. And then we can make it a tenon with that little scrap piece there. And go ahead and sand up the bottom of it. So I have another half of this round. This is only a little part of the half that I have already cut up. But I have another half, so I think I'm going to make wine stoppers out of it. I think it would be neat if you're making wine stoppers out of cork oak. I think that would be a good selling point. The bark too, I'm going to send that to a few friends and see if they want to play around with it and do some resin casting with it, because I think it'd be really just kind of neat. Make a stopper out of actual cork. Just making a little jam check here so that we can sand up the bottom of it. And same thing here, I just ran through all the grits up to 600 and put a little bit more oil on that. All right, so this is the lid. So I should say this is the first lid that we're going to make. So I'm using the calipers, getting the diameter for the recess there, and we'll go ahead and shape 99% of it before we have to start over. So I'm just making the recess. Just take your time making a nice little jam fit, cleaning it out. We'll get that all set and start shaping it, and then sand the inside of it too. So I think this is where I went wrong. The recess on here, I think I made it a little bit too deep for the shape that I put on the top of it. And I think that was the problem. So I just want to make sure it fits nice, and then we can start shaping the outside of it a little bit. So I'm just bringing the edge up, just giving a nice little curve so it stands up off the base a little bit. And then we'll come in from the side here and take off that material. And same thing with this. Ran through all the grits up to 600, and we'll get some walnut oil put on it, and then we'll get it parted off. So now we can switch jaws here real quick, and we can expand them a little bit to finish off the top. So the curve on it, it didn't look quite right. So I came down and I was just trying to reshape it just a little bit. And I think that is where I got into trouble. I think I got too close to that recess on the inside, and it was about to fall apart. So just using one of the D-Way box tools here. It didn't catch. I didn't, nothing moved. It just, I think, broke that through to that tenon right there. So I grabbed another piece of wood and started over and made another lid just like that. Here it is, all finished. Luckily, the grain and everything really lined up nice. It has a little bark or a little limb on one side of it to kind of match up with the base. Everything worked out nice, but make sure you don't cut too far down into the lid. Yeah, it's just a beautiful piece too. And there we go. A little lidded box. And it all lines up and looks like it was one piece of wood, which was really lucky. There we go. It's all done. It's about 3 1/4 inches tall and 4 inches diameter. And you know I love making lidded boxes. Carl, thank you so much. That is just, it's a beautiful piece of wood. When they were up here, we swapped some wood back and forth, and he had brought that. So it's the first time I've ever turned this. And if anybody knows anything about Cork Oak, if this is the kind of colors and patterns you get out of it, I am going to start searching for some because it is actually just beautiful. The lid really lines up nicely. They have those 2 little limbs that were coming out there, so that all matched back up. I got lucky with that. All right. Hope you enjoyed the video. Down below in the description, click on that. Watch that video. It's super cool. If you like learning about stuff like that, like I do, you'll really enjoy it. It's a whole kind of history of when they started making corks back in Egypt and the whole factory that's making them there. And yeah, it's super neat. All right. Everybody have a great weekend. Take care, and we'll see you next time.